Iceland is home to some of the freshest fish and nicest resorts that you'll find, and today we're giving you a taste of both, from a gourmet dinner in a coastal town to a cozy guest house near lava fields. This day had a little bit of everything. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's day 6 of our Iceland journey, and we're in the final stretch, now over on the west coast, just north of Reykjavik. After a long 5-hour drive from our ziplining adventure and a quick trek to check out the shipwreck, we were seriously hungry. So we ended up in this tiny town called Grundarfjörður on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula. There weren't too many dinner options, but this upscale place called Bjargarstein Mathus caught our eye, so we decided to give it a try. The restaurant, whose name means House of Food, is tucked right across from the ford from Kirkjufell Mountain, that uniquely shaped peak you see in the distance there, just beyond that little biker. It got its shape by rising above the glaciers during the Ice Age, which was pretty wild. This place was already pretty busy when we got there, and it only got busier as the night went on. You could tell it was a mix of locals and tourists, all enjoying a night out of good food. Everyone was super friendly, especially the waitstaff, who were incredibly welcoming. There was a really cool bar with turquoise cabinets, stocked with fancy wines, liquors, and a few Icelandic beers. We didn't go into that back room, but it looked like it doubled the seating space for the restaurant, definitely useful on a night like this. The vibe was awesome. It started with the decor, a mix of modern and classic touches. It felt kind of fancy, but it was still cozy and warm. And here's another look at the bar. It's packed with little knickknacks they actually use throughout the meal. Champagne, butter served on a stone, these beautiful salt and spice boxes, and a few other fun trinkets. The restroom was tucked behind that door, and just to the left of it was a piano, quietly sitting in the corner. The tables were set with water and wine glasses, silverware, small candles, and these really cute napkins with animal prints on them. We'll get to those in a second. The lighting was perfect, soft and warm, thanks to the old-fashioned fixtures and ornate wall sconces. It created just the right mood, especially with all the windows looking out over the water. And here are those napkins I talked about, with adorable ram and duck prints that added a playful, stylish touch to the table. I also appreciated the glass tabletops, which had delicate fabric placemats visible underneath. Just a really nice attention to detail all around throughout the entire restaurant. One thing we had seen when we found this restaurant online beforehand was the hand-drawn menu, and sure enough, it was just as charming in person. The first page featured the drink options, followed by the appetizers and starters on the next page, and then after that was the main dishes. And on the main dishes, they offered a meat and vegetarian dish of the day, plus a redfish entree and a catch of the day. Our server explained each one in perfect English and made the options sound just very incredible. So we ended up ordering 2 of the redfish and 1 of the delicious meat of the day. Quick side note, water is free at restaurants in Iceland, and the tap water here is noted as some of the best in the world. Most places will just bring you a pitcher to your table without even asking, but if you do prefer sparkling, you can always order a bottle. We also decided to try one of their homemade drinks, an orange lemonade mixed with local mineral water that gave it a nice bubbly kick from a local fresh source. And it was also topped with a kumquat garnish, which was also delicious. We started with some of the rolls as an appetizer. They were decent, but nothing too special. But the butter was served on a heated stone, definitely photo-worthy. For the main course, the redfish came with some fresh greens and cauliflower, a creamy Parmesan risotto, and these wine-soaked garlic cloves that added a really nice punch of flavor. The meat of the day was slow-cooked lamb, served with a mix of white and sweet potatoes, carrots, onions, cooked beets, and topped with kale. It looked beautiful and definitely felt like a full, hearty meal, reminiscent of a pot roast. Overall, the restaurant was really good, and I'm glad we made the stop to enjoy something a little more upscale. I'd give it an 8.6 out of 10. Now, was it worth around $45 for the redfish and the kumquat drink? I'm honestly not sure. It's definitely not cheap. But the food was great and the setting was lovely. So if you're on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula and not traveling on a tight budget, I'd say it's worth checking out. At the Miðhraun Lava Resort on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, we stayed in this private guest house for the night. We had just finished the Roadhole hike and were ready to settle in and get some rest. There were about 8 of these similar gray houses clustered together in this section of the resort, with more private and shared guest houses scattered around the property. The land here is super flat and open, stretching down towards the ocean, which we were about 5 miles from the coast here. There was plenty of parking, no matter what kind of vehicle you had, and you could pull right up to the window of your guest house. The entrance had a wood-planked walkway that matched the exterior siding, and a half-glass door that let in a ton of natural light. Inside, the vibe was very cabin-like. Light wood floors and walls gave it a warm, cozy feel. Just inside the entry, there was a coat and shoe rack, with the bathroom off to the right and the kitchen over here on the left. The kitchen had a sleek peninsula stovetop that really stood out as the focal point of the main room. A metal vent hood dropped down from the ceiling, adding a nice contrast to all of the surrounding wood and giving the space a bit of a modern edge. Along the wall, there was a large sink and plenty of countertop space, with white cupboards and cabinets offering lots of storage. They even stocked a few essential spices in case you wanted to cook during your stay. There were several outlets around the kitchen and throughout the house, all using European plugs, of course. Panning over to the common areas, the kitchen table had 4 chairs and sat right next to a massive glass window that looked out towards the midnight sky. It was such a peaceful view. The living area included 2 single chairs and a comfy couch, with a few pamphlets laid out about the Snæfellsnes National Park and the surrounding areas. There was a smart TV available too, with login options if you wanted to stream something. Overall, the style was pretty minimalist, but I liked the small touches, like a bookshelf with a few fake plants and even a miniature Eiffel Tower. Just enough personality without making it feel too cluttered. In the first bedroom, there were 2 twin beds pushed against opposite walls, each with its own bedside table and lamp. A square window let in plenty of natural light, and there was a shade for when we went to sleep. It was pretty warm that night, so we cracked the window for a few hours to cool things down. There was also a small table and chair in the corner, a nice little spot to get ready in the morning, especially with the wall mirror above it. Each bed came with 2 blankets, 2 pillows, and a bath and hand towel. The second bedroom had 1 full-size bed with the same window along the wall and matching bedside tables on each side. There was just a small chair in the corner, no table or mirror here, but a simple piece of mountain artwork hung above, keeping the vibe clean and calm. The house had 1 bathroom, and it was actually pretty spacious. It even came with a combined washer and dryer, which was a great bonus. We ended up using the top of the washer for a bit of makeshift shelving, though there were also some hidden shelves behind the mirror. Behind the main door of the bathroom, there was a towel drying rack. I didn't get any footage of it, but it was useful. The walk-in shower was clean and modern, and they even provided complimentary soap. From the patio, you can see the square kitchen window, the big living room window, and the patio door itself. The other houses were pretty close by, so if you're looking for total privacy or seclusion, that might be something to consider, but for us it wasn't really a problem. Some of our other guests had patio furniture, but ours didn't have anything set out during our stay, though I'm sure we could have asked if we were staying for longer. Walking about 1/8 of a mile was a shared amenity area, and a beautiful stone path led the way right to it. The wooden structure there is where the changing rooms are for the geothermal hot tub right next to it. which we didn't try out the hot tub ourselves, but it definitely looked relaxing. One thing to note, you can't use the towels from the bedrooms at the sauna. If you didn't bring your own, you'll need to purchase one at the restaurant check-in area for $10. Down another stone path was the sauna barrel, and even though I'm not an avid sauna user, this is the kind of setup I'd gladly spend time in to soak in the warmth. The view outside the large circular window was absolutely stunning though, just grassy fields, a nearby pond, and the hills off in the distance. Outside the sauna, there was a little stream of warm water coming out of the geothermal well. It was super warm right near the source, but as it trickled into the small creek, it cooled off quickly. The whole area by the pond was so peaceful and majestic, it really felt like something out of a postcard. Heading back down the stone path, you can see how far the guest houses are from the sauna area. Not too far, but far enough for a bit of privacy over here. Panning to the left, you'll see the main restaurant, which also serves as the check-in area for the resort. They even have a small farm on the property, with a few animals grazing in their area, giving even more charm and character to the lava resort. Right outside the restaurant, which was closed when I was filming, there is a beautiful wooden deck with picnic tables for outdoor seating. Also, I wanted to show you the check-in screen that displays the guest house assignments, but when we arrived just after midnight the night before, someone was actually there to greet us in person. Overall, our stay here was really pleasant. Having a private bathroom was a nice change and definitely more convenient compared to some of the other places we've stayed and shared with you all. Quick side note, we noticed these in-ground trampoline pads at quite a few playgrounds around Iceland, including here at the resort. They were pretty fun and definitely stood out as a unique little feature. We were very satisfied with our stay and glad we booked it, especially since we got a pretty good discount. We paid $152.23 for the night, which was great for us and the experience we had. That said, the regular rate is about $290 per night in May, and it's probably in the $300 during peak summer months. For that price, you might find something more luxurious somewhere else for a similar price range, but all in all, it was a very nice place to stay, and we got some great rest here. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed coming along this part of our Iceland journey. We would love if you would subscribe to our channel for more travel and food content from Iceland and all around the world. Have a great day.